I know that we mentioned earlier, but I just want to say thank you so much. Everybody came out this past weekend for the special taping. Thank you so much, everybody who worked on this special, not only just this weekend, but like developing, putting this show together, like making my kind of vision and dreams come true. And that is Dove, that is Mark, that is Cheryl and Rob, that is Vala. Beautiful videos you put together, Shifty. I just thank you guys so, and my wife and my daughter, and who play the integral roles in it. If you guys have seen the Life Tour, So yeah, I just want to say thank you guys so much, and it was just an awesome experience to see all those people out there, man. Say again. Derek Poston, of course. Oh my God. But so yeah, and tons of other people I'm just not even thinking about right now. So. Thank you guys so much for being there, and it was really cool, especially with everything that happened with the venue and like the city just still coming out and supporting me on Thanksgiving weekend, and that just felt great. And it just felt really cool. Now is the hard part. Now we got to get into the edit, obviously.
Yeah.
But and just filming a special is just so interesting, like of this size. We've only done things that we've done ourselves before, and this is the first time where we're like, okay, we're stepping it up. So in order to step it up, you have to hire companies. Why do you have to hire companies? Because there's all this minutia that we don't worry about when we're filming a show together. We're throwing up some cameras. We're like, all right, we're going to go and edit together. When you're doing something of this size, it's like, okay, we need to make sure we have releases for everybody that could be on camera. And we need to make sure that we have the union signatory signed off and the scheduling and timesheet. So you're hiring out these different companies. And I thought an interesting thing that happens when you're filming it is you have to be super diligent about what you want and your vision, because each department that is working on it, the interests aren't exactly aligned. Obviously, everybody wants there to be a great special, right? Yeah. And we have, like, for example, we have the best audio guy in the business. Thomas Cassetta is the best audio guy in the business, hands down. It's not even close. And Thomas is telling me certain things that will protect his audio for me. He wants me to have the cleanest audio. He's like, if we mic you too much, then you could be higher mic'd than the crowd, and we want to make sure that mix sounds good. But if we mic me too little, then I won't have enough control of the crowd, So he's trying to protect the best version of his audio. Thank God we have someone who understands what we want as well. But I can imagine someone who doesn't know stand-up, who's just recording a special, is going, oh no, we got to keep the mic down because it's going to fuck up my audio. Not realizing what the crowd needs. Yeah. The crowd needs you to fucking hit them in the chest.
Yeah.
Same with video. Video wants it to look beautiful. One thing I think that a lot of times people make mistakes for in a special, they'll do what's called a line cut. I don't know if this makes any sense, but essentially they're doing a live edit of the special. Trying to edit stand-up live is like catching a fart with chopsticks. It's not even possible. Because you would have to be so fluent in the comedian's material and timing in order to build tension, then release it. With comedy, it's not like music where you can just cut through a bunch of different angles and make it look epic. When you do that, you distract. Yeah. It's kind of like horror where you got to like build, push in, build, and punchline, release. Yeah. If you don't know exactly when I'm going to release, you're fucked. Yeah. So it's like, but in their mind, they're like, okay, let me make this shot look really cool. Let me make it look so beautiful so I can offer value to this project. Everybody wants to offer value, but sometimes their offering value isn't what's going to be best for the project. So you need to go in. Thank God I have the fucking ride or die best team on the fucking planet who are like, this is what we need. And we need you guys to understand this is what's going to make the project the best. And just articulating that and really fucking dialing it in. It's just an interesting thing. I think that, like, especially comedians, if they're listening to, you should be really connected to your project. Don't just go out there and film it and think it's going to be okay. Because it won't. Because most people don't understand stand-up. Yeah. Even if they've done specials, they just don't understand what makes it good. And I think you get into these situations where you're with these people who have done tons of specials, and at first there's like a little bit of, you're a little deferential to them. And then we kind of had a moment where just like, hold on. Yeah, we posted things on YouTube and Instagram, but we sold out Madison Square Garden twice posting things on YouTube and Instagram. We clearly know what we're doing. Yeah. I don't know if there's anybody else who sold out the Garden without having a network special. Yeah. So it's like, I'm not going to belittle what we did because of the platform was YouTube. Clearly, we know what we're doing. And it was cool to have that team together where we're like, this is what we want. We're all down. All right, guys, I know you think you guys know what you want. This is what we need. Trust us.
Yeah.
And it was even cool to go from Friday to Saturday. Like we made our adjustments from Friday to Saturday and just to see it become our show. By Saturday.
I mean,
it was
doing a
even saw it
special,
different, too.
you just introduce so many other creatives. You know what I mean? Like, it's doing shows on the road, it's just like you are the single creative vision if you're a comic doing that.
Yeah.
But then as soon as you're filming, it's like, okay, we're introducing like wardrobe creative, and that might be different than how it normally is. And then the visual creative, the sound creative.
Yep.
And there's tons of other creative that get brought in, and they are all fighting for their personal agenda to be fulfilled.
Yeah, and they're all also talented in their own right and successful. And I like to look at them thinking altruistically. They want it to be the best, and they trust their talent to make it the best. So it's managing that. Hey, I know that you think that this is what's best for it. We think this is what's best for it, and let me die on my sword. Because there's one thing I cannot live with. It's your decision being wrong.
Yeah.
I can live with mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I'm not going to live with yours when I told you I want something else.
Yeah.
You know? And I just thought it was so fun. Like there's this great moment like Friday and even going into Saturday where just like our internal team, like our fucking people, everybody was just on the same page. It was just like, this is what needs to be done. And you were there Friday and you were there Saturday.
And I saw the difference.
And it was like, everybody just stepped up. Voices got loud. Everybody got stern. And I think everybody started to realize like, oh, these aren't like a ragtag group. Like they know what the fuck they want.
Yeah.
And yeah, it was just, I felt really grateful. I'll stop talking about it, but I felt very grateful to have all you guys there to back up that vision. And it gave me a lot of confidence. And yeah, I just want to say thank you. Thank you so much.
But also thank you. You've empowered your team throughout, you know.
I mean, I
Mark,
trust you guys
That's it.
implicitly. I was just like, yo, Shifty, Mark, get what you need. And then they got what they needed, bro. It was just...
all of it looked beautiful, but you know, confirming what you're saying. But no, it was exciting. It looked great.
A shit ton of cameras there. It's going to be a fun edit.
Bro, you know what's so funny?
I went to the video village. I was like,
Oh, yeah, it was like...
damn.
Command center in NASA.
Yeah.
And you know what's interesting is they have these things called robocams, right?
I saw the fire.
So this is fascinating. Robocams, like automatic cameras, we've like seen them on the road in certain venues. They just kind of like look and move like a security cam footage. This was the newest version of these robocams. We only had 2 up. I don't know if I'm ever going to film a special without robocams again. They're a little cylinder.
Yep.
They could be anywhere in the room. And you don't even notice what they are, but the movement now, digitally, it's like, it is, the push-ins are better than somebody racking focus and pushing it. The movement on them, and now you don't have 14 different people. Not only do they move up and down, they're pushing, like they're moving on different axes, only taking up a fraction of the space.
I saw one on the side of the stage just going up and down. And I was like, oh.
You see the movement for those? Like you said, 3 axes same time, just like coming.
What is it called? The acronym is like P something T camera.
PTZ, pan tilt zoom.
Yeah.
I mean,
and not just like the high end version of the.
it was funny. Like
I was looking into that for the studio. And I was like, oof, those
because
are
you don't even have to be in the room.
I
You're
priced it out
remote
for
editing
years.
them.
Expensive.
No, they're really expensive, but prices will come down. That eventually what happens. But like a perfect example is like, I told them, this is my note always when we're going to do like a live show. I even tell Shifty, I go, nobody should see a camera. If people see a camera, they get nervous. They're like afraid to just react. They're just thinking about themselves. And the best comedy show is people get to leave themselves, right? And the first show, all of a sudden I'm up there and there's this camera almost called a gimbal, meaning it basically, but you guys know this, but I'm just describing people at home, like it balances the camera perfectly so someone could walk with it. So he's not holding it on his shoulder. It's this mechanism that perfectly balances it. He starts walking down the aisle. I think he's gonna get one shot and then leave. He's walking down the aisle for like 15 minutes. I just stopped the show. And I go, you need to get the fuck out of here.
That shit was so fire.
Right? Because
But then you went right back into it and got a laugh immediately. I'm like,
yeah, that was fire.
but it's
to
like,
have the crowd on a yo-yo like that is fucking.
I mean, but look, yo, shout out the crowd, but like also it's like to me, I'm going, you're making me feel fake. If I don't acknowledge that camera, it's like a girl with huge tits walking down the aisle. I can't not say something about that. Right? You gotta
Right? Can you get up here immediately?
Yeah, you stay exactly. But so it's just one of those things where it's like, and this is like the video team was pitching me all these cameras that would like come backstage and point out backstage. I go, guys, the second the audience sees a camera stick out backstage, they're gonna be petrified.
Yeah.
Now, would it look cool? Sure. Has anything been funnier because it looked cool in the history of comedy? No. You know what's funny? Chris Rock's Bigger and Blacker when the cameras are literally shaking because they're on sticks and the ground is moving.
Yeah.
Like that to me, the grittiness of that is just beautiful. I go, guys, I don't want anybody to see a camera. Capture the fucking show. Make them believe it's just a regular show. You know, and I think that is like the number one most important thing. Yeah. The most important thing you can do is make it look like this is just a regular show. Honestly, I wouldn't have even announced Netflix taping if we didn't have all the issues with the venue and all that other stuff. I would just be like, hey, here's some shows, come on out. But because you want to capture that kind of authenticity. And I hate being a fake on stage.
Yeah.
And having cameras walk in and me not see them or something pop in behind me makes me feel like I'm fake to you. Because you know that you see it. I know I see it. But we're both pretending it's not there.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Just cool things to learn. And maybe if anybody's watching that's into comedy or producing comedy, they could take something from it.
Yeah.